Welcome to the sun-bathed islands of the Adley Bay. At the middle of these warm waters sits the capital, Veli, the largest among all other cities in the bay and a true sight to behold. Rich in natural resources, bountiful fishing and favorable soil, the Adley Bay has boomed into a bustling paradise with boats coming and going with product in tow. Seaplanes and flying boats, an aeronautical invention only a few decades old and growing in popularity. Those brave enough to pilot a plane tend to do so for an occupational or economical advantage, while others, for crooked reasons. Brew pirates, backwater bootleggers, they taint these lands in choking smog, plunder ingredients and steal from the peaceful locals to forcefully sustain their brewing monopoly. The pirates operate in secrecy from the surrounding landmass of the Marieth and Delholdin nations. Their presence expands, forcing their brews as they rove freely and unchallenged. That was until two unlikely heroes stepped forward. Nigel, a flunky from the Marieth Flight Academy. Undeterred, Nigel refuses to give up on his dream of becoming a career pilot. With very little flight hours on his record, he's eager to find anyone that will fly with him. And Francie, the daughter of a successful merchant in the Marieth capital. When she learned of her father's shop being ransacked by the pirates for goods used in their brewing production, she vowed to help protect the bay and return what was stolen. In this time of turmoil, our unlikely heroes unite under one banner and one name. Henceforth, the Brew Barons came to be.
All right, we're here. The city of Veli. The last remaining location in the bay that still shines bright with opportunity.
Huh. Not a bad place to start a brewing enterprise. I hope the locals won't mind us setting up shop here.
Some may be wary, but I'm sure we can sway minds and gather support if we can produce quality brews people actually like.
All right then. Let's do this. I just wish we had enough money left over from the renovations to buy a better seaplane. The salesman may have swindled us with this junker.
How about that? She floats! As I knew it would. Now before you head off, just a reminder to keep your speed low when entering or exiting any harbors. Harbors often have plenty of boats and obstacles that can cause some real harm to you and your plane if you're not careful, so just keep your throttle low and you'll do fine.
I'm more concerned about the illuminated rust holes shining up through the floor.
Rust? Just think of it as weight reduction. Anyhow, remember what I said. Oh, and try not to fly too high. That engine has carburetor issues. Bye-bye now.
Oh boy. Well, let's see what this thing can do. I'll give you a quick refresher on the plane controls and instruments.
Great, let's start.
This is our fuel gauge. We have a full tank at the moment and shouldn't need to refuel for a while. Oh, and one role of the co-pilot is to give regular notifications on fuel levels. This meter represents the plane's cargo capacity. And currently, we aren't carrying anything. Take note that a heavily loaded plane will become a bit more sluggish in handling and speed. Highlighted here is our compass, attitude indicator, speed display, and altitude display. This is the engine throttle. Hold the throttle input to gradually raise or lower the plane speed. The throttle amount will remain fixed at that location when released. Just remember to lower your throttle when you want to slow down or stop. The red portion of the throttle bar represents sustained engine damage. Damage will limit engine performance. Below that is the plane health bar. From the looks of it, our plane currently sits around quarter health with reduced engine performance. Next to the throttle bar is the propeller pitch toggle. Simply put, you can invert your propeller angle and make the plane traverse either forwards or reverse. You would only want to use this if the plane gets snagged or stuck. And finally, steering the plane. Simply point the reticle in the direction you want to go, and I'm sure your flying intuition will take over.
It's coming back to me now. I recall the ignition button has to be held for several seconds in order to fire the engine up.
That's right. Hold the ignition button to start up the plane. Apply some throttle and follow the ring markers. They will lead us to the brewery.
What's going on? What's all that engine racket? Huh? Is this some kind of joke? Look at the state of that seaplane. Whoa, check it out. The plane looks like it's about to sink at any moment.
Whoa, check out that plane. I suppose they're moving it off to the wrecker.
Welcome to our new base of operations.
We own all 3 floors? Huh, not bad.
Yup, it may look a little rundown right now, but it's just a matter of time before we turn this place into a grand establishment that strikes down the pirates' monopoly for good. The second floor contains the actual brewery, while the third floor sits mostly empty, waiting to be converted into a bar. And last, there's our plane hangar that resides at the bottom. See this golden square? This indicates a dockable location. This particular one will take us directly into our hangar. Always reduce your speed when maneuvering into a dockable location. Otherwise, you run the risk of overshooting and possibly crash.
Got it. Now that we're here, let's get this plane inside and fix it up.
Welcome to the hangar. Let's jump right into the basics. From here, you can craft new planes, load or modify an existing one, and purchase new blueprints from the parts catalog. A plane will always need a pilot and co-pilot, which you can assign in the roster tab. You can also assign idle pilots to a few other jobs, such as brewery assistant or bar manager. Before we go any further, let's get this plane fixed up. In order to modify the plane, we must first fix up the structural damage. You can do so by opening the Repair tab located on the plane information panel. Once opened, move the slider all the way to the right to repair all damage and accept the purchase. Now that the structural damage is repaired, we can construct some new wings. Start by opening the Modify tab.
I noticed noticed the wing construction required not only money, but also crafting materials. I'm sure we'll find more materials while venturing, so we should collect and bring them back. Anyways, I guess we're now ready to fly?
Yep. In fact, I have a small delivery errand destined to a local bar on the other side of town. We can fly over there in no time. We're going to exchange a few bottles of old cider I have for a valuable piece of plane equipment. Let's start by moving all the bottles of cider from the brewery inventory into the plane inventory.
The cider is now loaded in the plane's cargo space. It looks like we're all set.
Right. Let's head out. You can undock from the exit menu shown here.
Oil, flaps, rudder. All meters look good. Ready for the maiden flight?
You betcha. You can see we now have a delivery contract located in the upper right. The bar is located within eye range, just on the opposing side of the city. Take note of the gold docking square and small pier. Pilots should always plan their dock entry route and exit route ahead of time. You'll want to avoid approaching the pier head-on. You will almost certainly crash if you're traveling too quickly. Instead, approach a pier from a perpendicular angle. This presents the safest way to dock at a pier, and also makes for an easy exit. To help you approach at the correct angle, I've placed a series of rings. When you're ready, just follow them, and they will safely guide us to the delivery point. Take note of the ring color as you approach them. Their color will suggest the ideal throttle percent for the smoothest commute. Yellow is 100% throttle. Red is 30% throttle, and 0% just before the goal. I'll remind you of appropriate throttle power mid-flight. Let's start up the plane, throttle up, and get to it.